Welcome back to 100 Days of Data with Miss Mailiana. Today is day 51. All right, so we get to actually go into details on our Python and get to clean a simple data set that we will create by ourselves. All right, so let's get into it by opening my Anaconda Navigator. It's opening. It's taking a while to open. All right, so opening. That should tell you that I've been packed with work. So it's been a while since I did work. So I'm going to open my Jupyter notebook. So I'm launching my Jupyter notebook. All right, so this is actually for teaching purposes. So I'm going to open it up. All right. Okay, so I'm going to expand and let's continue. All right, so I think we had a file, right? So I can open this one particular one. Yeah, so this was what we were doing earlier on. So we're going to continue, and today we are going to be creating. Okay, let's close this and let's go on to let's go by step again. So with Pandas, we use Pandas is a library. Remember from previous videos, Pandas is a library. So we are going to use Pandas to clean our data. So by we actually imported Pandas here, right? So it's like a whole house, right? Python is like a whole house where there are different libraries, so you have to open it, and to open it is like bringing it in. So or yeah, so you open the door by importing the Pandas as a name, right? So you are naming it some way, right? So that's what we did. All right, so we can just continue to just now create a messy data set. So we are creating a data set with this information here. So this is my notes, just so that it's easier for us to go through easily. So I'm pasting it here and I'm going to go through. Let's close this so that we are fully in teaching mode. Let me, yeah. All right, I think let's zoom in a bit. Yeah, this fine. So we are creating a data set called data, and in the so remember, data is what our variable. All right. So we have the data, and then we have we have inside the data set we have product, sales, quantity, and regions, and we can see something like none here, right? So we've intentionally created some messy data and all that, and we are going to run this. All right. What was it saying? Okay, I think we actually let's see. Let's fix it. Okay, they said our PD is not defined, so we have to import our. Let's do that. Let's import. Right, pandas as PD. Let's do that again, and let's run it. All right, so imported. So now let's create the data set again, and I'm going to take this off. All right, so this is just a data set we want to run. Then I'm going to make the data set a data frame. Remember, make it a data frame, then run it again. So with running, I'm using shift plus the enter key. Then I'm going to run df again to see what it's going to bring. So what happened just now is that we just created a data set. Okay, and how did we do that? We have a raw data. So for example, you have a data stored in a notebook and you are putting it in your Python, or you're putting it onto your Jupyter notebook, this is how you go about it, right? According to the tables. And afterwards, when you input it, you now transfer it into a data frame. And when you transfer it into a data frame, this is how it's going to look. Okay. So now when you see, we can see that under the phone we have NaN, and we have another NaN here. That's like missing values right there. So we have to clean this data. All right. So that's what this video is all about. We are going to actually check. So very first things is check our data, check the um the self, check the missing values that are there. So when you are cleaning your data, one of the major things that you really have to look at is missing data. Okay, missing data. The next is duplication, right? These two are non-negotiable. You have to make sure that you have you are making sure that everything is clean. Okay, please make sure you do that. Duplications, missing values are two non-negotiable. Also, there's formatting and making sure your data are okay and all those things. We've done all this already. All right, so let's run to see our values. So we can see that in under products there's no missing value, right? So under products here, there's no missing value, so it says 0. Under sales, there's one missing value. Under quantity, there's one missing value, and under region, there's no missing value. So that's what this information is telling us, all right, in Python. Then now we go and we handle our missing values. Okay, so that is it. So this hash tag here is just so that you know what the code is all about. So, and it's just to tell Jupyter that, or Python that, note, Python is the big guy, and Jupyter is the guy that helps you run the big guy, right? Or it's like the how do they call those people, the gatekeepers, sort of, right? Like for you to get to the big guy, you have to go through Jupyter, which will be easier for you, something like that. All right, so let's go on, and I'm going to break this into another code, right? So now we say what if fill missing sales with average. So we can see that sales has a missing information. So you are saying that, okay, the DF sales, right? Sales in the DF should be equal to DF dot, and then fill it with what the mean. All right, so let's do that, and we are going to also fill out um the quantity also with 0, right? Quantity with 0, right? Because we may never know what actually is. All right, then now let's print it out again. Let's print out the data set again. So you see that our sales has actually what moved, it is now no longer any n, but it has a number there, and our quantity has a number. So this is actually you cleaning your data, and that is how, this is the basics, right? So if you understand how it runs like this, then you can also build yourself to know more about it. All right, so let's look at duplication. Okay, so we move on to know the duplications as well. All right, so note our DF stands for what? The data frame, right? So this is the data frame, right? So we created a data called data. Then now we named that data, we moved that data into, so more of like, you have your notes, um you have how do I put it, you have a lot of people, okay, outside a room, right? And then now you arrange them, and then when they were outside the room, you call them the class group. Okay, now you arrange them according to maybe numbers or age or something. Then now you call, when they are done arranging it, now you call the arrangement what? The class arrangement. So that is what this two is. So this is the general data, and this is the data frame called the DF. Please understand that as well. Then we go on to actually now look at duplicates. So let's run it, and let's run a DF again. Right, no, actually it says what? Drop duplicate. So we are dropping duplicate, and this is a small data set, so you get to see where the duplicate is and you get to see how it works. Okay, so we have the duplicate here. All right, so we having this drop duplicate is going to drop it. So let's run the data again, or let's see the data frame again. And now we have it's no longer 5. You see 0 1 2 3 4 5, but now it's now 0 1 2 3 4. Right, so we've dropped our duplicate, so that is it. All right, so now let's look at, okay, cleaning the columns. This is actually formatting. All right, so I said the two major data cleaning is what missing values and duplicates. The next one is also sometimes formatting. Okay, so um you actually will have to make sure that your columns are really okay. All right, so let's run this up and let's run our data frame again. All right, so you realize the difference. This frame before the formatting was what capital letters, small letters, capital letters, small letters, but now they are all small letters. So what does it mean? That we actually move the columns of the data frame towards to be lower. So df stream to be lower, right? The codes are a lot, right? Gone are those days that you had to chew these codes and write them, but thanks to AI and all that, you can get the codes, but you have to understand what the code is doing. That is it. That makes you different. Okay. All right. So now we've been able to change the formatting of the data set, right? So if you want to make it I am let's see, if you want to make it uppercase, let's see how it's going to look like. Let's change this to upper. All right, and let's run it. And df, let's run it again. You see, you see what we just did? Yeah. All right, so that is actual, like, that is it. So you can see, okay, I'm sure someone will be like, okay, what to do if I wanted to do it small capital letters? So I've done it for you. All right, okay, so now let's go on to, all right, trimming spaces, right? So there may be spaces among the letters you do, right? So you trim. All right, you trim. Let's see, let's see if it could fix the code. It's not fixing it, so let's delete that. I think there's no trim, but let's find the error. Key error is what? um key error region. Okay, key error. I don't know what exactly the error is, but from the look of things, there's actually no um trimming to be done. Oh, okay. We are saying we should trim rigid, but there's nothing to be done there. So that's where the error is coming from. Right. So sometimes we get scared of failure, right? We get scared of, oh, we got some wrongs here, oh, we got some red lines here. But I don't know if you've realized, but if you are learning these technical things, the error feedback actually gives you the information you need. So please read them. You are not, don't be scared of them. Okay, right? So that's my one intentional thing that I am doing in this class, that I don't want to just give you the whole prim and proper. I could have actually just cut this error off and then merge my video and go, but I'm going to post all this just so that you know that do not be scared of the errors. Okay, all right, so let's go. I think let's try to see if we can convert our data types. So this is all about data cleaning. So you've seen duplications, missing values, formatting, and all that. All right, so first and foremost, I am going to check the data info. All right, so this is what the data info is telling us. It's telling us that product is an object, sales is a float, quantity is a float, region is a what? Object. So we are trying to change quantity to be an integer. All right, so let's run it. Why? 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 Really? Hold on. I know my error. Hold on. I know my error. My error is that it's capital letters. Okay, so let's move it back to small letters. Okay, so that I didn't move it back to small letters. That is my fault, right? Oh, sorry, yo. Sorry, yo. Lower letter. Right? Right. Okay, so now let's take. Okay, so let's take this one again. Trimming again. There's nothing to trim, literally. Alright, but that's fine. Okay, so let's go back to converting. Let's see how the conversion goes. There's an error again. There's an error again. See the. Said I should try using what? Location row. Try using dot location row column equal to value installed. I really don't know. Df, we're gonna do df dot info. Alright. Okay, changed. I got a scare. You see? So I just practiced what you were scared, right? Warning. But actually, when we see the quantity was what float, but now it's integer. So the code actually works. So this red thing shouldn't be scary. You get it. All right. So final thing is let's check out our data set. So these are final data sets we have for today. All right. So these are the practices of data cleaning in Python at its basic form. So if you get this, do not be scared of the bigger data sets, right? You just have to use it and you'll be good to go. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll get to see you on the next video, day 52. All right, bye for now.